Get it right. Shame about it. You ever just need just love? Cause sometimes I just look in your eyes and I see that's what a lot of them miss. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. She said, I don't want the simple things. Need love. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. Need love. Yeah. She just want that perfect one, that perfect one, that sunshine. Baby need the vibe, hold up, hit the telly. I'm a swerve man on the block, so ready. Marathon continues on this shit, it's so heavy. Rest in peace, Nick Dog. Baby, I can give it any day. Rolling through the black and gray. Let me just smoke a little. Give you that perfect vibe. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. She said, I don't want the simple things. Need love. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. Need love. Yeah. She just want that perfect one, that perfect one, that sunshine. She ain't never had love with the love she just met. She hit me with a text, now we end up on a jet. And it's never really nothing, we getting straight to it. Anything, baby, I can give it any day. Rolling through the black and gray. Let me just smoke a little. Give you that perfect vibe. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. She said, I don't want the simple things. Need love. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. Need love. Yeah. She the one, them simple things. Need love. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. She said, I don't want the simple things. Need love. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. Need love. Everybody needs someone to love. And that means we got one life. Get it right. Shame about it. You ever just need just love? Cause sometimes I just look in your eyes and I see that's what a lot of them miss. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. She said, I don't want the simple things. Need love. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. Need love. Yeah. She just want that perfect one, that perfect one, that sunshine. Baby need the vibe, hold up, hit the telly. I'm a swerve man on the block, so ready. Marathon continues on this shit, it's so heavy. Rest in peace, Nick Dog. Baby, I can give it any day. Rolling through the black and gray. Let me just smoke a little. Give you that perfect vibe. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. She said, I don't want the simple things. Need love. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. Need love. Yeah. She just want that perfect one, that perfect one, that sunshine. She ain't never had love with the love she just met. She hit me with a text, now we end up on a jet. And it's never really nothing, we getting straight to it. Anything, baby, I can give it any day. Rolling through the black and gray. Let me just smoke a little. Give you that perfect vibe. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. Like she the one, them simple things. Need love. She said, I don't want the simple things. Need love. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. Need love. Yeah. She the one. Everybody needs someone to love. I mean, we got one life. Get it right. Shay baby. You ever just need just love? Cause sometimes I just look in your eyes and I see that's what a lot of them miss. Like she the one, them simple things. She the one, them simple things. She said, I don't want this simple thing. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. She just want that perfect one, that sunshine. Baby need the vibe, hold up, hit the telly. I'm a swerve man on the block, so ready. Marathon continues on this shit, it's so heavy. Rest in peace, Nick Dog. Baby, I can give it any day. Rolling through the black and gray. Let me just smoke a little. Give you that perfect vibe. Like she the one, them simple things. She the one, them simple things. She said, I don't want this simple thing. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. She just want that perfect one. That perfect one. That sunshine.
What up, you guys? Yo, everybody hear me well? How we doing? Where we at? What's today? What's the year? What the fuck's going on in the world? Holy shit. But we're here. We made it. We're alive. We're well. That is a blessing. We woke up today. Holy shit, dude. That is the number one glory. Thank you, God, for letting us wake up today and create. Thank you for letting us have our ears. Thank you for letting us have our hands. Thank you for letting us have our spirits intact and our health. Let's just go ahead and bless that real quick. So, amen. Boom, shakalaka. And then let's get moving, man. Oh, there is. This motherfucker made it. He found his way back today, bro. We went rounds. Motherfucker. I almost took this motherfucker out, threw him in the pool. Trees cannot swim. I don't know if you know anything about trees, but they don't swim. So, yeah, this motherfucker, by the bark of his tree, he made it. All right. Dude, yeah, Tree's cool, though, man. We made up. He's cool. He's fucking sporting some sunburst candy canes, you know. I guess you could say that they sing like a log. Yeah, da-da-doom, pa-charge. Ba-da-doom, pa-charge. Hold on. Damn, it took me a second. Joke so far in the chat to Joe. That's the award. Bada boom. All right. So yeah, what are we doing today? What are we doing? We're probably doing what we do every day. What do we do every day? Monday through Friday, 6:30 o'clock. Who am I? What the fuck? Why should you listen to me? Oh my God. Well, first off, I'm 100MILLION. I've been in the music industry for quite some time. I've had the blessing of working with a lot of big artists, a lot of indie artists, a lot of different artists. And one thing that this channel is going to focus on, it's not gonna just cook up. It's not just gonna do beat breakdowns. We're not just gonna do Pro Tools mixes. We're gonna actually like try to answer why. We're gonna go into why beats get picked by artists and why other beats get skipped over, because that's a big thing. It's not just about being a dope ass producer. I mean, you may be the best producer in the world, but have no idea why your beats get picked or why they don't. So hopefully I can help you with some of my experience and the dead ends that I had to run into, and then the positive things that happened in my life, all my breakthroughs. You know, I look like I'm 21, but I'm 34 years old. So it's kind of like someone in the grocery store this morning didn't believe that. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm 34. I got a 15-year-old son. He's a whole human. Like, oh my God, I've been doing music since I was 13, 14 years old. By the time I was 18, I was a professional touring DJ, making drum and bass and doing all kinds of stuff. It's been a journey in my life, and it all hasn't been wins. You know what I mean? So I say this to tell you guys, I'm 34 years old, and I still have a long road and a lot of growing ahead of me, but I've been doing this since I was 13. So, that's a lot of knowledge that I can help you guys with in your records. And it isn't genre based. We're not gonna just do trap or just do R&B. We're gonna break it down. What are we gonna do? We're gonna break it down fucking down. However, whoever you're with, you should be able to deliver some kind of emotional palette to start a song with. So if you only make trap beats, you're gonna probably be at a disadvantage if you're with someone who really has an R&B spirit and they want to kind of dive into that world. So we're gonna jump around. It's not genre based on this channel. We do a lot of music, you know what I mean? I've had the opportunity to cover ground with a lot of different artists who like to express themselves in different ways. So it's my job as a producer to know how to deliver those palettes and those emotions and those feelings to trigger a story inside of the song. It's not just a beat that we're going to focus on. It's going to be why this works for this song. Because some of my beats, they're not the craziest beats in the fucking world. You guys can do this shit. I believe in you, bro. 100% I know you guys can do this shit. But how do I have that advantage? What gives me that advantage? I just been in the room with hundreds of artists. No cap. Like, real shit. I used to be a recording engineer, and I'd do 2 8-hour sessions a day, then run back to my studio all over Los Angeles with everybody. So during that time, I had the opportunity to listen. We do music. If you're not listening, then there's something wrong. The knowledge is out there. It's right in front of you. You know what I mean? Like, everything's right there. Your sound is your sound effects are ear-shattering loud. Let me cut them down. We don't want to kill you guys. We don't want to murder your eardrums, man, because that's what we're talking about, is needing to listen. And I hit a sound effect and fuck your whole shit up. And then you're like, this motherfucker. No, I'm just playing with you. But yeah, dude. So I'm not going to talk forever. I just like to talk for a little bit. So, because I don't know if you've seen any of the past videos or if you're just jumping in right now. But I just like to give you a little bit of background on who I am and maybe why the fuck you should pay attention and listen to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just want to make music to make music. I want to be the best in the fucking world at this shit. So as we move forward, we can help each other be the best in the world at this. Not the best on your block. We want to be the best in your world. And that starts with being honest. And, I had a lot of opportunities where I thought I was there and I would play music and my shit would get stomped on in the room. You know what I mean? So it's just, I had to grow through that and grow from there and take those experiences and come back and learn how to win, man. So we can fucking win together. So I can give you some information that's more than just how to make a beat on Fruity Loops. We can all make beats. The chances are, I have a 15-year-old son and he's already has a record placement, like a real record placement with a real artist at 15 years old. So it's not about how long you've been doing it or whatever, but it's about maybe having the understanding and who you've been around and what you've been exposed to and maybe just what your natural taste is. So maybe if you're missing the mark, but you don't know where the mark is, dude, how are you ever going to hit the mark in your production to really grab a hold of that artist you're in the room with? Maybe you made a beat and 10 minutes into that beat, that shit is fire. But you think you have to work on it for 5 hours for it to be acceptable. Now nobody in the room fucking wants it. And you just spent 5 hours and we did 5, 6, 7 songs in 5 hours. That's real shit. Let's pull back the veil. Dude, if you're not moving that fast and delivering that type of quality, you got to keep up, man. There was times when I would do literally, no bullshit, 12 songs in an 8-hour session for big artists, like moving, recording, mixing while I'm recording, doing all that shit. I cannot wait to get into the tutorials where I'm going to bring in an artist and we're going to have him in the booth. And I'm going to actually show you guys how to mix a record for as close to radio as possible in the actual recording session, why the artist is in the booth without getting in his way and stopping and doing all that shit. There's secrets to this shit. And I promise there's some guys who can do that, and that's why we've been able to be busy in the business, and that's why we're able to have the relationships that we have, is because we're able to deliver products that not everybody can deliver. Most of the guys that move at that speed in the industry are guys that didn't go to audio colleges. They didn't have these set of rules built into their brains to where they can't break those rules. I never was taught how to do things. I just kind of got thrown into the pool of sharks, and they were like, do this every day. And I was fortunate enough that God wanted me to have a career in this, so I was able to adapt and learn on the spot every day. Bam, 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 bam. So enough about me. Enough about this. It's an amazing song we're breaking up today. Who is it? Golden Mack, Simple Things. This is actually on 237 Music Group, too, so you guys can go check this record out right now. It's actually out and available on Spotify, blah, 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 Apple, all that shit. So Golden Mack is a phenomenal artist. Just a little bit about him real quick, man. This guy, he's fucking crazy, man. I'm talking about Los Angeles to the bone. This is the guy. This is LA. He's a young artist who's finding his way right now through his life, and he's about his business, man. This dude is a natural born hustler, and he has so many expressions in him that are coming out and haven't came out yet, and just he's a real artist. It's not just he's a rapper or a singer, or that's a big difference too. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to talk about that on this episode, but oh my God, just because someone can sing incredibly well does not mean they're an artist. Just because someone can rap incredibly well does not mean they are an artist. So, you know, that just comes with instinct, with experience. As you grow older and you've been exposed to more artists and more things, you're going to be able to spot things in people. And in my opinion, Golden Mack is a motherfucking superstar, bro. Like, this guy is incredible. You guys, if you don't know about him, then this is going to be a great year, because he has a lot of stuff coming in 2021 for you guys. So I'm not going to sit here and do plugs the whole fucking time, but let's go ahead and check out the record, man. I guess I'm going to play it for you real fast. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the you're going to see my OBS for 1 second. We've been doing that. We'll take care of it this weekend, but so we're going to jump over here real fast. I'm going to go ahead and shut this little mother down. Skidink. All right. Let's go ahead and minimize this a little bit too, so it's not like screaming and breathing, huh? All right. Cool. I'll mute the vocal for a second so we can just listen to the beat. I'm going to shut this down. Cool. All right, you guys. Let's go ahead and check out just the beat, and then we'll come back and start breaking it down from the drums to the sounds to the bass. Love this song. Even when I listen to just the beats, I hear the song, so I'm like, I love this song.
100 million in that.
So simple. That's been the theme. That's what we're going to talk about, is how to keep it simple every time. No pun intended that it's called simple things. You pretty much get it. It's a beat. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and check this out real quick. So let's go ahead and open the drums first thing, for sure. And what are we doing with the drums? Let's start from the very first sound. That's kind of what we've been doing. Instead of jumping straight to the middle of the song and just doing whatever, we're just going to kind of go through it as it goes. You know what I mean? Obviously, dude, nice little crash, dude. Some atmosphere. That guitar has so much atmosphere on it. It pulls you in instantly. Like, it doesn't take 5 seconds, 8 seconds to get engaged by the song, you guys. That is the first thing that you need to understand, is that your beat will be skipped in fucking less than 1 second, 2 seconds in the studio. It is nothing personal. If it does not grab or tickle your ear from the jump, that beat, it could have the craziest drop that the world has ever heard, but the artist will skip over that beat that fast. And it doesn't matter if you're a brand new producer. It does not matter if you were a 10-time Grammy Award winning producer. That beat will get skipped over if it doesn't grab you from the jump. That is just some real shit for you guys to keep in mind when you're making your music. Make sure from the very beginning of that song, it's engaging. So what are we doing? That got the guitar. We're talking about the drums right now, though. So let's take a look what we did. We just got a nice little crash. That's all that's going on. And then this thing, is my plugin showing up? Let's take a look. I'm sorry, it's on a little delay. Is the plugins coming up on the screen, you guys? Let me know. Gabby! Oh, man, this is a bop, dude. This is a bop for sure. Oh, dude, that's awesome that you've been listening to this. It's on your Spotify most listened. That's incredible. I'm telling you, Golden Mack, man, the world ain't sleeping on Golden Mack, man. We ain't doing music just to do music. We're trying to change our lives. We're trying to be Grammy-nominated, Grammy Award-winning artists and producers, and our whole circle. We really, truly do this every day, and we value the artists that we work with, and I believe the artists that are attached to us are worth your time, and they're so, so incredible, you know? So that just makes me feel so good that you listen to it. You can see the plugin. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's just keep moving forward. I keep talking about this plugin every time we pull up a song, because when I talk about this plugin, we're talking about sounds, we're talking about atmosphere, we're talking about your music inside of the music, we're talking about the top end of your drums, the crashes, the splashiness of it. So this is the most effective plugin to get that airiness in those sounds and not get in the way of the artist, because you're actually taking some stuff out here too. If you notice, you're taking the whole bottom of that crash and you're just kind of letting it ride. Normally this would be on Canyon and this would be on Hall, but it's just being a little more mild on this one. So what's after that plugin? My favorite musical reverb. If you don't understand the difference between a mixing reverb or a musical reverb, like you should look into that. We're not going to go full into all the different types of reverbs, but this is the most I love this reverb. Obviously Lexicons and RCs and all that shit. Yeah, they're great. I love those too. I use them a lot also. But I just personally love how this reverb sounds on Hall, even large Hall, medium Hall, and then you got this is a reverb amount. Then the actual wet dry is right here, and then you have all these different options. Normally this would be cut out, so I mean I was probably moving fast as fuck. When I do beats and I get in the zone, I could literally finish a beat in 10 minutes to 20 minutes, and that's done. You know what I mean? That's off to the artist. So I try to mix as I move, but I'm not worried because once the song gets cut, I come back into the beat and beef it up too. You know what I mean? And I don't do no crazy 10-year mix. I just make sure it stays what that artist liked. Because if, say an artist picks a beat, right? It's an incredible beat. You're excited as fuck. You're like, damn, hell yeah, they're going to cut my record. They cut the record. They send it back. You're like, oh, I just want to do some stuff to the beat real quick, and let me change it and mix it. And then you do all this another 3 hours past what that artist really liked about it. Then you send it back. They may hate that beat. They may actually decide not to run with that song. You know what I mean? So make sure that you understand that you don't need to do crazy amounts of work to things to make them work in nowadays world, in nowadays industry. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to sound good, I promise. Just keep it simple. So let's keep moving. What's the next thing you did? The musical reverb. Because why? Because sometimes it's not about just one reverb or one space-time plugin. You could use 2 reverbs and use them mildly each, and then that adds up to like having one cranked, right? So when you do that, you're actually introducing custom colorations to your sounds and atmosphere that are unique to yourself, because you would have to, everybody could just put the plugin on, right? You know what I mean? But if you know what you're doing in combination of the chain of your plugins, you can actually create your own unique textures that are pretty cool. And I've been doing a CLA sounds into a Manny reverb for years, followed by a center to pull out the middle of the sound, and you leave the stereo frequencies on the side. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a joke. I have done this same technique on major artist records when I'm mixing them. I have done this technique on every, you know, it's a great expensive sounding type of texture that people really like. So you can put this on vocal, the same type of technique I'm showing you on these top crashes. You can use these on vocals too, you know what I mean? But the background vocals, not the main vocal. And you could do this on the sounds too, which I'm sure we did later on in this record, but we're going to keep it moving. But I can't stress enough about center. Center is one of the most beautiful mixing plugins if you are trying to make music for modern artists. Because if you want to make music to do trap and EDM and dubstep and drum and bass and anything, you know, like festival music, whatever, that's cool, that's great. There's no right or wrong rules in this shit, you guys. Don't think I'm telling you it has to be this way, you know what I mean? But what I am going to tell you is you're going to up your chances a lot better if your goal is to make modern music for artists in the music business. You're going to want to make space in your music a lot so that vocal can sit in there. Because you as a producer, you're not after the same goal that maybe a festival trap producer is when he sits down to make a record. You know what I mean? He's filling it all in. He's doing all his shit. It's going crazy. It's packed full. It's a high energy record. There's no really room for fucking vocals in that or a song. You know what I mean? It's a record. It's a production. It's still a song, but it's like not a fucking song. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't written. There's no concept. There's no vocal in it. There's no story being told in that music outside of the instrumental story. You know what I mean? So keep in mind, if you want to have a story on your music, meaning if you want to have an artist pick your fucking beats, whether that be trap, rap, R&B, fucking pop, you want to leave space for that artist. And I fucking love this plugin, man. This shit is crazy. Yesterday's show was out of control. First of all, Tree, yesterday, motherfuckers were wilding in here. Tree almost got fucked up. We had special guests. Yesterday was out of control. Oh, my God. Hold the fuck on. I thought it was supposed to be educational. Yeah, I love it. Hold on. I thought it was supposed to be my teacher learned me to spoke good, Paul. What do you think? You better wash your feet before supper. You better wash them feet before supper. All right, cool. So this was a oh my God, what is going on? No. Okay, but anyway. So let's keep it moving. I'm sorry. I can go down the whole rabbit hole of craziness, but that was my point. Yesterday got a little crazy. So we're going to try to keep it educational. We're going to try to keep it educational for you in here today. Just make sure you wash your feet before supper, all right? All right, here we go. All right, so what are we doing? You see that these are crashes. These are washy. I am crazy. I know. I understand. What's going on in here? educational. You can know what I mean? You can know what I mean, man. We're trying to talk educational on here, man. What you gotta do is bring that dang old center on there and make sure you don't put that goddamn old mono in that damn sound in the way of the goddamn vocals. When that vocal starts going, that's gonna take up the whole presence in the mono frequency. You know what I mean? You want to bring those side sounds around, hug that vocal real nice, like a big old teddy bear vocal, and you get, buddy. All right, cool. All right, so what's going on? And then now, look, you guys, dude, man, bro. I used to have a friend, I swear to God, he said that shit. We would be like partying and get excited, and he'd be trying to get your attention, and we'd be fucking hanging out. He'd be like, dude, man, bro, dude, man, bro, dude, man, bro, dude, man. We're like, holy shit. That shit is funny as fuck to me. All right. So cool. What are we doing? We're making space. Why bother to make so much space even into just the crashes and the cymbals and the rides and in the top frequencies of your drums? Ask me that. Go ahead and ask me. Boom. Hey, why would we make so much space in the top of your drums and stuff like such? Well, because vocals have like sibilants and things like that. That's high frequency, and it's going to actually get in the way of that vocal sounding more expensive, because that space of all that sting and hiss and the crash and all that stuff, it doesn't really need to be predominant in your record. You know what I mean? So that's another way when your beat can really sound full and it could be all that, but then you could give it to an artist and you're like, man, it has so much space. Or you could think your beat's ready and you could give it to an artist. You wonder why those vocals fight for predominancy in your record. You know what I mean? It's because you weren't thinking from the get-go on how to create space through all the different elements of the record. You know what I mean? Look at the transients on a on a sound like this. They just run. It hits and it runs out. It's not like a quick snare. You know what I mean? So this is going to go somewhere. These frequencies go somewhere. And as the record gets bust down and it gets fucking bust down, boom, boom, that's funny. As the motherfucking record gets bust down, then like it's going to get brought up and it's going to get mastered and it's going to get brought up. And then those frequencies might actually end up getting in the way of the vocal and making the vocal seem harsh. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Cool. Let's keep it moving. We're not going to go like reinvent the wheel every single time here, but check this out. We're making that space. Listen to this crash real quick. I don't need any of that extra shit up there. I don't need this 6K, 8K, because the vocal sounds brilliant up there. That's the brilliance in a vocal, is like 8, 10, you know what I mean? You want to be careful. If you're finding yourself in your vocal mixing to having to boost 3K and all that shit, that's just going to get harsh as fuck and tinty as fuck. And to be honest with you, you should have probably did more subtractive EQing inside of the actual production and the music, and then you wouldn't have to find yourself doing all these crazy boosts with your vocals. If we're not... That's in consideration if the engineer knew what the fuck they were doing and recorded them well and all that. But that's another topic, you know what I mean? So we're just gonna jump around. Move it, yeah. It's just crashes, you guys. That's the whole top frequency of this song. Like there ain't. We're gonna organize this a little bit for you before we jump down to that other thing. Cool, boom. So the next sound in these drums, dude. Simple hi hat. What's going on with this hi hat? Let's take a look at it. Gating it. Why are we gating it? Ask me why we're gating it. Hey, why would you gate your hi-hat? Okay, listen. It's so subtle, but it's there. It's just creating like a millisecond of space-time. You know what sucks is when you don't leave space in your music and it's a dope beat and then it can't be made into a song.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine. And you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never...
No one cares. I'm not even going to get fucked up and tell you what I named that sound effect, but I named it Becky. Okay. Becky's sad. No one understands her. Okay, cool. So hi-hats. You guys, hi-hats. Why? Dude, keep your hi-hats simple as shit. You don't need to make them crazy. Why am I pulling out that? Why am I pulling this out? I'm not going to get redundant and explain the same EQ fucking job I just did on the last sound. You should know why I EQ'd this space in these hi-hats again, because that's the brilliance, the shininess of the vocal. It didn't need to be there. It could have been there, but it didn't need to, so I just made room. If something doesn't need to be there, just take it out, because in the long run, it's going to help your record sound better. You know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't take away the character of the sound, and you're finding yourself ducking and taking sounds out, that's letting you know that you're allowed to take those out, because it's not about how that sound sounds by its fucking self. It's about how the record sounds as one. You know what I mean? I see a new art piece. Yeah, come on. You like that one? That's L.A., city of... I can't see what we're seeing right now, but let me see. Oh, yeah, that's the L.A. Look. Come on. Give it up for the city of L.A. All right, come on, guys. We're going to keep it moving. I hope I'm not just being blabbermouth on here, but Let me know. Are you guys learning anything? Is this anything? Some of this stuff is definitely. Well, all this shit fucking makes sense. I promise. But I'm just going a little quick and jumping around. But let's keep it moving. Hi-hats are simple nowadays. You don't need crazy rolls everywhere and everything. I think one of the reasons why he was able to do what he did on this record is because of the space. It wasn't like competing, and I didn't have all these slides and hi-hat rolls that made him feel like he couldn't just flow with what the song was trying to do in the guitar. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much that. Let's go to the next part. Boom, shakalaka, motherfucker. What is this? What's this guy doing? Dude, really? This is just adding a little pattern. That's a tet, because I have something riding, right? I already have my hat. I have my ride. That's what you're latching a hold of when you hear that. And then now I just have a little tiny counter tap. It's just getting a little syncopation, ghost melody kind of. Boom, tat. You know what I mean? And it's honestly just adding like a slight variation in the hat that's already there. So it's just a little bit different. So it keeps you interested instead of just But it can just be that simple, because if you rely on the velocity of how those hats are hitting, you could turn a really boring hi-hat line into something more interesting and more effective than just tat, 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 tat. You know what I mean? The velocity of those hits is very important to think about. Man, this beat goes so simple. And that's all those are doing. What's on those too, you guys? Probably the same. Look, you guys see? The same kind of stuff I'm doing in those spaces up there, because I'm thinking about the vocal. What's going to happen with that vocal? Let me see what that is. Okay, cool. Let me see what this is. Oh, okay, cool. So here's a good example. You don't always have to layer your drums. You can see I bounced all these drums down from my drum the fuck ever it's called, fucking drum rack. And this is literally one snare, you guys. This isn't 5 snares layered up and all kinds of crazy shit. In this record, that's what worked. I didn't need to add another clap with it. I didn't need to do that. Sometimes you'll get away. If that frequency is right from the bat, then don't go trying to change it and thinking you need to do all this stuff just to say that you did it. That's a thing that a lot of young producers do. It's just a big mistake, man, because nowadays the guys who are making these sound packs and these give you a little look at the settings on there. The guys that are making these sound packs and these sounds and resampling these drum one shots and all that, they got pretty good systems, man. Like, they got pretty good ears. They've been in the game for a while, hopefully, that they know what they're doing, and their sounds sound really good. So you don't need to go adding all this extra fucking smack and da-da-da-da-da and crazy shit all over their sounds and layering in with 10 different snares and claps to get an effective sound in your drums. Oh, you're cutting it up? Oh, I can't wait to see it, bro. I can't wait. Oh, I'll send you that stuff too right after we're done tonight. I'll send you the background pictures and all that. Actually, let me just send you over the Dropbox too. I'll make a little folder for you, and I'll put all the little Twitch content and stuff in there for you. Man, if anybody's tuned in for the first time, I hope you're liking what we're doing here. We don't really focus on just one thing here. We're not just gonna cook up. We're not just gonna fucking do beat breakdowns. But for right now, I'm going through a lot of records that I have with artists, and I'm just kind of showing you why the artist picked them. You know what I mean? Like, it's so simple. I'm just showing you basically how simple it is in today's industry to work with an artist and to really create songs with them. And if you're trying to push your production on them, then you're missing the point. You should be trying to create something together that's a collaborative thing. Even I've been blessed to have relationships directly in the business and know the artists and know the managers and be around people. But even if you don't have that luxury, you can still co-create with an artist that you've never met and just kind of build something for them and have that in mind when you're creating. You don't even have to know them or never met them in your life to like, oh, okay, I want to try to make a record for this person. Let me go in. And if you're just making a beat, then you're going to be serving yourself. But think about what that artist, where they're going, not where they're at. And always try to think about that space. You know what I mean? Because I tell you this is a golden thing. Every single artist would love to hear themselves more. So the more space you give to hear themselves, the better you are. The more it's going to win. The more they're going to be excited. If the record's so clouded with frequencies and the sonics are all fucked up and they can't hear themselves, it doesn't matter how dope those chords are. It doesn't matter how incredible that pattern is. It doesn't matter nothing, bro. That record ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Like, but unless but check it out. Real shit. Let me sit up straight real quick. Check this out.
Can we talk for a minute?
Maybe it was supposed to be like that, though. There's some records that are distorted as fuck, fucked up. You distort the vocal, you go crazy. We're going to get into that as I break some records down like that, too, and you're going to notice even those super crazy, hard-ass records that are distorted and they literally go hard as fuck. They're normally, like, extremely simple productions, and it's so deceiving because there's so much frequency adjustments going on and things happening, and you're slamming shit in overdrive and saturation that it may make you feel like there's so much going on in that production, but it's so simple. And if you were to make a really hard ass production and you try to go crazy with it, you have no room. So the harder you want to go, it's about the less elements in that record, and strip it back to the bare minimum of what it can be and still be hard as fuck, and then that's what it's going to be, and you'll be surprised that that's what it is. You know what I mean? So, all right, cool. Let's take a look at this snare. I don't want to keep on blabbermouthing. Solo it real quick. Dude, that shit sounds good. You could argue, put more space, do all kinds of shit, add some reverb, do all that. I have a tendency to go with dry drums. I don't know, because I like dry drums. Obviously, I add space in my shit, and there's textures and stuff for sure. But when I'm doing R&B, like, I'll space it out a little bit. You'll hear there's a lot of atmosphere in this record. So, like, it worked. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll have a full washy snare, and that's all I had, and that's all the record needed. Because it's all about what that song is asking you for, not what your production is and what you want to do as a producer. When you're really listening while you're creating, instead of just pulling from your head, and you're hearing from your heart and your soul, from your music, and you'll hear the song presenting itself. And sometimes you'll just go too far, and then that song will turn into something completely different. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's about keeping it simple. It's just, these are dry too. So that's just, it's what's happening. It's adding a little tiny bit of weight. That's all that's happening with that. And you notice, check this out. I want to point something out, because a lot of people are big on the internet. They'll check someone's settings out, and they go run to the settings, and they think those are the settings for every snare and everything. This is just what that typical type of snare needed. Just need a little boost. And this plugin, it's not about setting it to snare because it's a snare drum and then it sounds good and you walk away. This is on bass drum. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just about experimenting with your plugins too. And if you have 9, 10, 15, 20, 30 plugins going on one sound, fucking back way the fuck up. Go find a new sound. Straight up. Find a new sound. Like, sound selection matters 100% when you guys are trying to get something quality. I promise. Don't disserve yourself and just think that every sound is cool as long as it's placed in the right spot. You know what I mean? Because that's not really the case. But we're not going to harp on that. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you guys know. Your sound selection could actually define whether someone takes that record or not. So that's what I'm saying about keeping it simple. If you have all this shit in your record and there's you know what I mean? It's all the wrong sounds, but the right idea, it's going to get skipped over. Just the minimalness of the right choices leaves the right choices to be heard more. And like, oh, that's all the right shit. That feels good. I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? Just trying to show you guys something. So in the beginning of the verses on this record, you'll see this hook. I'm letting that snare run. I'm letting that snare hit. That shit sounds great. So just to add a little variation in the actual arrangement of the record, on the beginning of verse 1 and verse 2, I just filter out my snares. That's pretty much it. You know what I mean? What else did I do? I took my hi-hats out. And I took my motherfucking drum, my kick drums out. And just left that little syncopation hi-hat, and I just left the filtered snare to come in until it progresses. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Come on, y'all. It's that simple. One move created one move, and taking things out created a whole new chamber inside of the same world for the artist to express himself in. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want your beat to be rocking and then completely cut to something that's so different that it's like, whoa, okay, that was dope, but now I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to feel as an artist. You know what I mean? So we'll just keep moving, keeping it moving. Let's go to the kick. You guys feeling good? We feeling good? Is it loud? He said it's loud. Sound effects are still too loud. Oh, let me turn them down. Cool. I turn them down a little bit. Them mothers is hot. Them are hot potatoes. Hot potatoes coming through your speakers right now. Them are hot potatoes. All right, cool. Let's look at the kick. This kick has been bounced down, obviously. All these drums have been bounced out of a drum rack, too. They were all just one-shots that I played on little drum pads, and then boom, there it is. Except for, oh, actually, this was probably on note repeat. So, note repeat, and I just grabbed this little end on the variation, so you can see there's a tiny shuffle. Because what we talk about, leaving your hi-hats simple. They don't need to be all like, that shit is long done. That shit ended. Keep it simple. Nice little kickaroo right there. Come on. Let's take a listen. Ooh. Ah. Yeah, loving it. And check this out. Here's something that's common too. So, you could really just get your kick, right? You got your kick. Let's mute this for a second. You got your initial kick. Rock it, right? Yes. Now grab a different kick drum. A sonically different kick drum that still fits and still in key with the song, and tune that in with the song. And you could actually add small layers like I just did here. And you could actually add a variation so it creates a cool bounce, so it's not the same kick with just a different velocity. That's a trick too. But you can actually grab two different kicks and use them simple. Keep the pattern simple, but just exchange it out in certain parts in your song, and that will create an element of change in the record that will help it keep progressing and keep it in the theme of the record. You know what I mean? And it won't be all, you know what I mean? You won't have to like fucking do all these crazy automations and all this shit with your velocity and stuff. You could just introduce a little tiny bits of change. I'm telling you, it's not about every single thing being the most extraordinary idea you've ever did. It's about the collection of the correct moves that you chose to make while you're making your beat that lead up to the actual thing appealing to the artist. So if you could have the dopest kick ever, the dopest drums ever, the dopest sound ever, but if it wasn't put together right with the other elements of the song, then you're in trouble. Then because people hear, man, a lot of these producers, they don't have any music theory, so they don't hear, so they're just slapping shit together. But there's people here, these artists, don't doubt these artists just because they're not a producer. They don't know nothing about music, you know what I mean? They'll hear and be like, that shit is not in the pocket. That shit is not right. Oh man, I love that record, but the drums it's not the right pocket for that song, you know what I mean? So then you missed out, and it literally could all be the right shit. It just was just the wrong placements, you know what I mean? So keep your placements simple and keep your choices real simple and keep your options limited, and like restrain yourself from using a million sounds. Decide you're going to do an exercise and be like, you know what? Today I'm going to make a beat and I'm only going to use 8 sounds in this beat. With it, that's everything. That's the 808, that's the motherfucking bass, that's the drums, that's the sounds. And try to do that for a week or two and make a whole bunch of records that literally have like barely anything in them, and then you'll find yourself, you're getting better at this. You're getting better at this. Those records will become more interesting, and you'll see it's about the choices that you make inside of the musicality and the placements that add up to everything. It's not needing to be the biggest banger you've ever heard in your fucking life, man. It just needs to be right. And once it's right, you're ahead of the game. Big fucking time. That gets you in the door. Having your shit right is way better than having your shit sound better than everybody you've ever met in your life and being the most fucking, I make fucking 1,000 beats a day, bro. You know what I mean? Like, nah, dude, that shit is, come on, you guys gonna burn yourselves out, man. Maybe out of those fucking 10 beats that you did a day, only one of them's right. You know what I mean? So like, strip it back, and then those other 9 are just beats that help you get that one beat that was right. So start figuring out the correct moves and why they're the correct moves, and maybe those, and then now you'll be able to make 10 beats a day that are all right. You know what I mean? Like, as in, not all right, but they fit, they're right, they're done right. Someone will hear them and they'll understand it. They'll be like, oh, I need this. This is a song. I gotta express myself on this. Because that's the key. That's what you're going for as a producer, is you want people to express themselves on your music. You don't want to hog up all the fucking expression and be like, oh, this is my beat, so I decided it needs to be like this. Like, come on, man. Be adaptable. The times are changing. So let's look at the drum bus real quick. So every record we do, we got this motherfucker on here, because I've been using this shit forever, dude. The NLS drum bus. What is this thing? It's like a saturator summary, a summing saturator thing. All it does is literally mimic the circuitry of a Neve console, an EMI console, an SSL console. Boom. I happen to love the way drums sound through a fucking Neve console, so I always use this on my drum bus right away. First thing. Boom, next thing, a little bit of dip off those kicks, probably because I was introducing those new accent kicks. So this is taking care of a little bit of that extra rumble. What's going on here? Bada bing, bada boom. See, I was being scared. I didn't even kick them bitches up. There you go. And 2, keep in mind, I did this record a while back too. It came out just in 2020, but I did this record like, shit, in 2019, the beginning of 2019 or something. So like, you guys, I'm doing so many different things now that are just slightly different changes, but the stuff that I was doing back then was the same exact shit that was still winning. You know what I mean? So like keeping it simple, making sure that the records aren't fucking so full and so crazy. All I'm doing now is I just got a little more brave and I slam my shit hard as fuck now. You know what I mean? Because I learned the lifelong lesson of searching and searching and searching that, hey, if it still sounds good, you can turn it up. Turn that bitch up till it don't sound good. And then turn it down just a little bit. There you go. That's how you get your shit to bang. It ain't about all this other shit. Just turn that bitch up sometimes. Some of you guys be scared as fuck to turn it up. Just turn it up. Let it come out hot. I'd rather a hot mix come out and be appealing to an artist than shit mixed absolutely fucking perfect and all nice, but then have no emotional context for the artist. You know what I mean? Like, give me a fucking break, man. It's 2021. All the rules are breaking, dude. You just got to know them to break them. You know what I mean? That's my advice. Learn them first so you can break them all, because fuck them. All right, cool. Let me get a little drink real quick. You know what? You're going to see this real fast. Let's check out the chat real quick, too. Let me get over here. Go over here, suck a fish. What up? Let's check out the chat. Oh, Les, man, what up? You still here? Hell yeah, bro. Man, I hope some of this stuff is making sense about the drums. I'm spending a little more time on the drums than I probably need to, but I just want you guys, because the drums are popular. You want to get your drums right. You know what I mean? And there's a big misconception on drums that there's so much work that goes into getting drums right. And it's just starting from the jump, having good samples from the jump, knowing what you're doing from the jump. That's really going to help you win that battle in your drums. So it's like not 10,000 moves on each little individual element. You're literally just making shit fit right, and so you can express yourself on it, you know? Yes, sir. Hope this is, I love Twitch, dude. I fucking love doing this, man. Every Monday through Friday, I'm going to be on here doing beat breakdowns, doing live cookups, doing Pro Tools mixes, I'm going to actually bring artists inside the booth, and we're going to do actually real records for the label right here, and you guys will be able to watch us do real fucking records here in Los Angeles with actual real artists. So I'm just going to kind of keep building this up and having fun and just finding new ways to share my experiences and anything with you guys, you know what I mean? So yeah, got Tree right here. Motherfucking Tree still chilling, bro. Shit. One thing I'm excited about, though, is to get on Call of Duty and start playing on Twitch, man. This shit's popping on here. I seen some kid on here the other day. 18,000 people fucking watching him play Call of Duty, you guys. 18,000 people watching this dude play Call of Duty. Not learning anything, not fucking gaining any knowledge, just like, yeah, shoot that mother. Like, okay, fuck yeah, dude. I love it. There's a community on here of entertainment. That's what my point is. I fucking love it. Like, this is good shit. I hope this is helpful to you guys too. I hope it's not rambling. One thing that's different than I know than my tutorials and my videos is I'm not gonna be like, okay guys, so what I did is I used the drum bus and I decided to move the drums and this is the snare and that's that. Bet. Dope. Yeah. Nah, man. Fuck, dude. I ain't fucking too cool, man. I'm gonna show you guys what I know and I'm not afraid to be my motherfucking self on here. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in the community. I ain't trying to impress nobody. Like, I ain't trying to have you, oh yeah, that guy is fucking, like, nah, man, come on, man. I'm keeping it real. I'm helping you guys learn. I'm showing you some real information that could be valuable to all your applications of all your music and how to work with the actual recording artists nowadays. So we're just going to keep having fun. We're going to keep breaking it down. So let's keep moving. First thing, let's come and check what we did here. Nice. So I probably heard this somewhere and I cut it up and fucking threw it into whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm going to show you guys something, I guess, in the next week when we get into actual live cookups and stuff like that. It's going to break down like how to sample shit and do different shit and like really have fun, you know what I mean? But we're just going to kind of we're breaking down how the song was put together in these topical videos, you know what I mean? They're just to help you understand how to create space in your music. And I want to show you guys my sessions and show you what I do so then you guys could apply it to your sessions too and be like, damn, that fool only had like 12 sounds in that whole song and that shit goes hard as fuck. So maybe I can pull my productions back and just kind of help my quality grow from here too by checking these videos out. So, and if you guys are learning anything, dude, then make sure to fucking follow me, dude. Follow this motherfucking Twitch. I'm going to be on here constantly, dude. I love this shit. Pretty soon I'm gonna be playing video games and shit. So you guys got to get on the Discord and drop your gamer tags in there so we could add each other on Xbox and shit, and we could fucking go crazy, man. Come on. Trying to play some new games this year. Just been playing Call of Duty and Madden. I want to check out some new shit. What's going on? Where do you keep your drums? Ableton sidebar, or do you find them online in the internet? Oh, man. So, to be honest with you, can you see? Sometimes I'll go to my Ableton sidebar, and in the search top, I'll just type in kick, and then I'll go to show all elements on the Ableton sidebar, and then it will literally like list every single kick one shot in my whole computer. You know what I mean? But I'll spend a day or two a lot of times in my downtime just collecting samples too, like getting all over line, finding drum sounds, getting on Splice, finding what I like on Splice, going from there, buying drum kits from people, doing shit, and just I literally have been making music since I was a kid, like a lot of us. So I'm sure we have endless drum libraries that we forgot to look into. Like, I'm sure we pulled one kick out of some folder we got fucking 5 years ago and called it good and never went back into that folder. And there was crazy drums in there we just never went and touched. You know what I mean? So I have such a big collection of samples and sounds that I'm always just kind of re-exploring them. And then I'm always re-adding to it. So, but that's a great way to actually do your file management when you're searching for your drum sounds, your one-shots and shit like that. Go into your Ableton search bar, you guys. Type in snare. And then you'll see right before samples and audio effects and instruments at the bottom, right below samples, it will say show all, or it will say let's do it right now. Yeah, it will say all results. So I have snare typed into my audio in my Ableton search bar, and then I come down and hit all results, and every single thing in my whole fucking computer or my hard drive's attached with that has snare in it shows up right there, and I can pop, 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 pop. I can not have to leave Ableton. I don't have to get out of Ableton and go open up folder windows and browse through them and thing like that. I can literally I can scroll through them lightning fast too. So that's the best part about when searching like that. Kick snares, etc. Yeah, all the stuff. You can Me too. We need to make a sample show. Oh, bro. That's in the Discord. We already have one. It's in the Discord, in the 237 Music Group Discord. We're sharing samples. We're doing feedback. We're doing all kinds of stuff. So there's actually a folder. There's a section in the 237 Music Group Discord that's actually right below if you're on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook or anything, if you come to Twitch, you'll find there's a link to the Discord right below this fucking video, and you can go there, and it has all these different sections, and one of the sections is sample sharing and samples and stuff like that. But this weekend, I'm gonna load that bitch up with some really cool stuff too. So if you guys come join the community, share your music videos, we have a funny shit section. Make me fucking laugh, man. We're posting funny shit in there all day. We're trying to get that community popping. So come join in, and don't be afraid to ask questions and like. Dude, I'm 24/7. I do music all day long, every day. This is my full-time life for years, so I'm always available to talk and to figure it out and see what's going on with anybody and everybody too. So, but I think that's an incredible fucking idea, Les. We need to be building that motherfucking shit up in there big time, and I think we make it public. I think we keep it open for everybody. I'm not afraid of people stealing the sauce, man. That's the whole point of this, is giving it all out. So, I'm very confident in my life that you could have all the same you do. Everybody has all the same access to all the same shit. So we can give our tips out and give our stuff out, because that's going to actually help us grow all together as one. You know what I mean? That was a thing back in the day producers would do too, you guys. Like, you would never share your sounds. You would never tell people how you did something. You hide yourself. You know what I mean? It was just the thing. So the community is definitely changing for the better. You know, it's like, a drum folder? Holy shit. You got a hold of the Neptune's drum folder in the fucking early 2000s? Like, oh my God. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? It was shit like that. Like, I literally got a Dre folder. I have a Dr. Dre one-shot folder that somebody out there assembled that's like crazy amounts of like live sounding one-shots that are quality as fuck. And, like, I got a Neptune's folder. I got all the, like, where did those folders come from? You know what I mean? Those used to be the hidden folders. There's still hidden folders out there, best believe. Man, I got homies that got the secret sauce folders, man. We got to get KO in there dropping some motherfucking samples in there for us, dude. Fucking every time I work with him, I'm like, yo, let me get them samples off that MPC, big fella. Come on. KO, man. KO, if you turn into one of these, man, come on, bro. I'm going to break down one of our beats soon, too, dude. Maybe I'll do a breakdown for that Roxo record. I do a Bando. A Bandit, Roxo the Bandit. There it is. Holy fucking shit. Jesus fucking Lord. Oh my gosh. How many times am I gonna fuck the name up, right? My bad, bro. No disrespect. Your shit is dope as fuck too. All right, cool. So let's keep it moving. Let's take a look at what we did to this guitar. So the first thing we did was run it through Effectrix. What is Effectrix? It's a cool little effect plugin. I'm sure you guys got it. I'm sure you can find it. You know what I mean? Like, it's an incredible, cool little thing. I don't use it as much anymore because I use it like in my past life in dance music constantly because it's common. This is a very common plugin in dance music. So, but you can motherfucking use this thing in anything. So oh, excuse me. Good golly, Miss Molly. Holy shit. Tree, how you feeling? Dab it up. Bam. Cool. All right. Cool. Tree's good. We're still in there. Evergreen Terrace. Come on. Stop fucking with your Stop fucking up your speech. You know how many hours I gotta spend editing that. That's how I talk, man. I could try to slow it down, and then this will be one of those monotone tutorials on YouTube where you are like, hi, guys. My name is fill in the blank. I've worked with myself. I'm on here to show you how I punch in my snare drum on Fruity Loops. I click this. Thank you for the conclusion of this tutorial. Real shit, though. Facts. No disrespect, but come on, guys. Up your game. You can't be teaching people until you've been taught. Come on. All right. So here we go. Effectrix. Love it. It just adds some variation. And it's so subtle that it's actually just rolling through there. You probably just feel like it's doing whatever. Because it is doing whatever. That's what the fucking his job is, to do whatever. Do whatever it's supposed to do, not all this other shit. All right. So, next thing. That's just literally an effects plugin, so that will be to taste. I don't need to show you all the different stuff on there and what I did on there because it's irrelevant to you and your application of this if you use it. You know what I mean? So, just know I did my effects before I did any of my processing on my sound. I guess that would be the most important thing to know. Next thing I did, well, there it is again. Come on. It's starting to be a trend. I'm going to get a fucking sound effects for when I pull this plugin up because it's starting to be there. It's so boring, but it would be so easy to chop up. Oh my God, I bet. Huh? All right, here. Okay, ready? Hey, guys, make sure to edit in between those hey guys. I just wanted to give you a little space, Joe. Okay. Today, we take. God damn it! Hold on. Fuck. All right, one more time. Hey, hold on. This is serious. Hold on. Let me get this right. Let me get this fucking right with you guys. And we're gonna take a look at these sounds. Hey. Okay, hold on. Today, we look at a snare drum. Yes! Got it! Fucking nailed it! Run it! Run it! Run it! Run it! Okay, I'm out of here. All right, I'm out of here. Let's keep working. I'm fucking with you guys. All right. So, dude, what did I do to these guitars? I fucking found them. I probably threw them in the actual Simpler, because Simpler is the shit. Then you can go to Retrigger, and you can do these things and chop it up and play it, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of cool. But then you can just flip it. But then I threw it into an effects plugin. Why did I throw it in the effects plugin? Just kind of give it a little more cool sauce. You know what I mean? Give it a little Sauce Jones, a little Sauce Barilla. Come on. So, now, this CLA Unplugged plugin is my favorite, it's not my favorite plugin. It's my favorite plugin by CLA. It's the only one I actually use. I don't use CLA vocals. I don't use none of that shit. I never use CLA stuff on fucking vocals. That's a big boo-boo. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Okay? There's a reason why we don't do that. I'm not going to tell you everything about it, but just don't do it. Just know that it's a look down upon technique. Even if it just don't sound right. You just need to know what you're listening for, because when you hit these on a main vocal, even that CLA vocals, it just kills the whole sound of that motherfucking vocal. Now, if you know how to use it and you're using it in conjunction with some other techniques, and then do your thing, because there ain't no right and wrong. But I love that plugin on sounds. You can hear it's an atmospheric sound. Guitar. Take it off. Just try it. It's been treated before this, too. So now where are we going? Boom. Open that little bad boy up. Yep, that's all that's happening. Pulling out some low end on it. Where are we going? Now we're EQing. What are we EQing the shit out of this guitar for like that? I'm sure you could guess. For the vocals. Because since the jump of the record, we're thinking about the vocals. So these are like, dude, cutting 500 a little bit in there. It doesn't need to be in there. It's just a little bit of cloudy frequency. Why am I cutting that in there? Probably because I fucking introduced a little bit of atmosphere with this CLA plugin. So now I'm needing to cut the bottom out of the guitar again, even though I already did it when I printed it the first time. So now I'm pulling out a little 500 because I have to again because I introduced a little bit of reverb. So I'm literally motherfucking sucking it out of the motherfucking shit. Skadunk, pause, fuck, shit, damn. I'm literally grabbing it and pulling that motherfucking shit right out of the goddamn motherfucking sound because it don't need to be there. 2K, predominant. When I'm talking to you right now, your ear is picking up so much 2K because that's like the most audible first frequency that we go to. It's like, hey, huh, 2K, hey, what, huh, who said that? You know what I mean? That's like in there from like from like, I'd say, depends on a male or female, so I'm not going to give you an exact number, but vocals, the predominant frequency in vocals come from like fucking 900 all the way up to fucking 3K. Fucking, that's like the mid of the vocal. Then you start getting up past 3, you're getting into top mid and highs and sibilance and fucking brilliance and all that shit, but you want to make space in your sounds for all these things. That's why I'm passing the top and passing the bottom, and I'm motherfucking dipping here, and I'm dipping at 2K, and I'm dipping at 5K, because I'm thinking about how that vocal's gonna need to sound in the record. You know what I mean? If I come up here right now and I unsolo this and play it for you real fast.
Marathon continues on this shit is so heavy. She the one, them simple things.
Homie's going in.
She the one, them simple things.
Sauce Jones, Sauce Gorilla.
I don't want this simple things. Like, baby.
You guys, homie's running in on that, so I'm trying to just like make sure that he has enough space to always do what he needs to do. But when I made this record, I made it in mind for an artist to have space. Listen to the song, it's emotional. It's not a record to fucking just be a trap record, you know what I mean? Like, so I heard this in my head, not his song, not Golden Mack, because like we had to come together to create that after the beat was done. So like, but I knew that this beat had the potential to really deliver a song, you know what I mean? So I just was very cautious about filling in the frequencies too much and going overboard in this record, you know what I mean? So these types of frequencies that you see me pulling out of a sound like this after I've treated it with atmosphere is a very common technique inside of the production and inside of the mix. So one thing you guys notice when I do too is when I'm producing, I'm mixing a little bit too. So I'm like I'm a mix engineer. I've been mixing records for years for a lot of artists, big artists, indie artists, all kinds of shit. So when in my own productions for artists, I try to apply those mix techniques that I know I'm going to have to do fucking anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of ahead of myself a little bit. So it's just so when I deliver that beat to the artist, they're like, damn, that shit fucking sounds great. Because the sonics is the other part of it's almost like you get handed 50% of a song's responsibility, and your 50% is broken up into two 25%. The 25 you're responsible first is the concept, the idea, the actual, the chords, the progression, the songs. The other 25% of your 50% is the sonics of that record. So if you're just worried about the idea and your sonics are terrible, that fucking beat didn't do its job. You didn't deliver your 50%. It does not matter how good your concept is. Like, that shit could get skipped fast just because of the sound. So, like, amazing beats get skipped constantly, dude. I used to mix in a lot. I used to mix in a lot. Oh my god! Oh my god, bro! Hold on. Here's Joe. This is the theme song for you going in on these edits. We're with you, my friend. Oh, I love that part. Come on. Hell yeah. Kill me. Real shit. Oh my god, that is so funny. That is so funny. All right. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And what are we doing? We're doing the same thing that we do all the time with this particular type of sound, or this typical kind of like application of treating the top end of something or creating space. We're using motherfucking it's fucking CLA unplugged. I was looking at it. We're using center. Why are we using it? Because this is the best mid-side plugin without having to go and doing a bunch of mid-side EQ. I'm just showing you guys a shortcut to mid-side. Get this thing. You don't have to be the biggest Waves fan in the world, but fucking get center, bro. This thing is fucking incredible, man. I'm telling you. This is mono, this is stereo. That's all you got to know. And then this is the low, obviously. You know what I mean? So just do, and use it at the end of a type of emotional atmospheric sound to create more space in that sound. If I were to play this with all this processing off of it, you're going to hear that there's a big difference in the type of space that it takes up. Oh, it's cool, but it's like not there. You know what I mean? Now it's softer to my ear. It ain't about everything being louder all the time, you guys. So pretty much the same shit's going on inside of the hook. It just has a little less processing on it. Why? Because I wanted the hook to jump out at you just a little bit more. You know what I mean? So I left the hook probably, it still has the same type of EQ job on it. It's still making room for the vocals. It's still doing that same kind of stuff. We're pulling out some 2K. We're pulling out some 5K. We're high passing the top. We're low passing the bottom. We're doing that same type of stuff. But one thing we're not doing is introducing that same type of crazy atmospheres and stuff like that. We're just making sure we got space. There was some types of atmospheres introduced before we bounced it down, but it's just kind of creating, it's just jumping out, it's highlighting it just a little bit more when it jumps into the hook, you know what I mean? So it's super simple, you guys. This record is so simple, I'm telling you, it's disgusting how simple this shit is. There's literally, I could probably consolidate this guitar onto one channel, but there's different types of processing happening on the actual verses than there is on the hooks. That's why it's separated. So there's literally one guitar, which we'll count these two channels, one sound and one vocal effect. I think this is a vocal effect. And then I think this might be a vocal effect too. Okay, so now who hates me? For real. Oh my God. There's one sound in this song. Let me play you this fucking song. There's one sound in this song. It's just about using it right. It don't gotta be all this extra. Listen to that shit. That shit is a fucking record, dude. That shit is a real record. That's a radio record. That shit is fucking, that shit goes. That shit slaps. There's one sound in that song. And just some vocal effects. That's it. Oh, dude, fuck yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna do the Dropbox tonight, I promise. But, dude, is this helping you guys understand a little bit in your own productions that, you know, like, one of the main thing that I used to do a lot, you guys, was I would do way too much just thinking I had to, you know what I mean? So it almost made me feel weird and uncomfortable when I started putting one song or one sound or two sounds, limiting myself to 3 sounds, you know what I mean? And then do your drums and then do your bass. Because you have other elements that need to make that song work. You can't just fill it with 50 sounds and then expect your drum set to sound crazy, clear, and cut through. You can't just have like a million fucking different basses trying to go on in your record and expect your shit to bang. Like, this shit's about simplicity. The main thing we talk about is simplicity on this whole channel. And you guys, this is the best example of simplicity. And it's just funny that the actual record is called Simple Things. But you get it, you know what I mean? You see, I know you guys get it. You guys are fucking intelligent as fuck, dude. There's going to be people on this channel that are just starting. There's going to be people on this channel that have Grammy. Like, you guys, it's just a friendly reminder on how to keep it simple, man. Because all of you have it in you to make an award-winning song. I know you do. Everybody in the world has a song in them. It's just about, do you want to take the time to understand why these things work and why they don't work? It's not about throwing things at the wall and just hoping it sticks eventually. So you can do that and you might catch some wins, but man, you're going to have a lot more losses than wins if you're just throwing shit in the air and expecting it to work. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys can take some kind of like insight out of this a little bit and understand why I'm doing this for you. I'm not doing this just to be like, yeah, it's making the beats easy, and it's not. If it was just as easy as putting some samples together and calling it good, then why doesn't everybody have placements? Why doesn't everybody's record sound right? Why doesn't everybody everywhere all over? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot that goes into it that is about the simplicity of the records, and it's really hard to understand that sometimes. If you don't say you've never been exposed to the music business and you've never been with an artist and you've never had the opportunity to be in the room with people while they're creating who are actual full-time creators, and they do this every day of their life. They fly to a different city and there's another writer that you have to serve. There's a different person, there's a different producer, there's a different artist, you know what I'm saying? That's going to speed them up a hell of a lot quicker to understanding the whys in this business when it comes to your productions. So if you're just on the internet searching tutorials, that's great, man. You're going to find some very useful techniques, but a lot of those guys who are teaching you those techniques, they don't even really know if they work sometimes because they haven't been able to explore them in themselves. They may be an incredible producer, but maybe their beats don't get picked up, you know what I mean? And that's so unfortunate. And maybe it's these tiny little adjustments that they can make that could totally fucking open a whole different life up to them. Because these young guys, they're getting it. These dudes who are like 19 and they're blowing up, you're seeing them get all these placements and they're running it up. They're understanding this. They're getting to the meat and potatoes of the education on how to fucking work in the music business as a producer a hell of a lot faster than a lot of us did, because there's so much information open to them now. You know what I mean? So my job now at 4 years old and been in the business for years and haven't done nothing but make a living off of
100 million did that. Shay, baby. You ever just need just love? 'Cause sometimes I just look in your eyes and I see that's what a lot of them miss. Like she the one, them simple things. Like she the one, them simple things. She said, I don't want the simple things. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. She just want that perfect one. That perfect one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That sunshine.
It's been doing
Need the
that.
vibe, hold up, hit the telly. I'm a swerve man on the block, so ready. Marathon
we're back,
continues
guys.
on this shit, is so heavy. Rest in peace, Nick Dog. Baby, I can give it any day. Rolling through the black and gray.
Yeah, so that's the I don't know what happened. It's done that twice now where the OBS bugs out and my input source like trips. So it's like mother lover. So it should be working for you guys now. Can you hear me fine? Are we back? Yeah, we're back. What do you say? Yeah, but hey, you followed me, bro. I appreciate that. I put that cash up there on my alerts because I want to share the blessings. That's the karma bank for you. That's going in your karma bank, bro. That was a G for you right there. That was 10 hundos stacked up. So I hope that comes to you this month. I'm just wishing blessings on you for following me today, and I just wanted to take a moment and just say thank you, and I really appreciate it. So boom shakalaka, I'm gonna get it going. I have to switch over real quick and reactivate the mic on the other channel, on the other scenes real quick on the OBS. So you're gonna see me for 2 seconds do it. So I'm sorry, and then I'm gonna jump right back into the record. All right. Fucking bullshit. I hate when shit like that happens, you guys. I'm trying to get my show running so smoothly, and every day there's just one little technical difficulty because I'm brand new to the streaming world. You guys, this is my first week streaming in my entire life. I've been in the business forever. I've never put myself out there on the internet. I've never fucking been online like this. So this is all new to me. So I just really appreciate you guys bearing with me while I figure it the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, come the fuck on with it. Come on with it now. Shada bing bang boom. All right, cool. All right, let me go ahead and slap this mic on over here too. You're gonna see my OBS for 1 second. It's like I'm flashing you when you see my OBS. It's literally like a flasher on the street. Ooh. All right, can you hear me? Oh my, I could see your OBS. Oh my, I could see your OBS. Ooh, is that your OBS showing? Ooh. That shit's fucking funny to me. I don't give a fuck. All right, cool, we're back. Is that your OBS showing? Ooh my. That's gonna be the new joke. All right, let me just throw it over here on working too, and then we're good to go. Okay, you guys can hear me. I gotta throw it on my smoking channel. New microphone. We're in there. Cool. All right, cool, you guys. Let me jump back over. So where were we? We're talking about the sounds. Where were we in the record? Yeah, we're talking about the sounds, and we're talking about how simple it was. What the fuck were we talking about? Sounds better for some reason. Oh, cool. I threw a limiter on that bitch. I tucked a little limiter on the end of the mic. You know what I mean? And I got it at a nice little volume for you too. So let's jump back into the record. Come on. So yeah, I want you guys to understand that. That's what is going to be happening on this channel. I'm really trying to just, we're going to do live cook-ups. We're going to do beat breakdowns on record placements that I've had. We're going to do, just kind of show you guys a better understanding on the whys, not just how to make a beat. Yeah, cool, you made a beat, great. We all can make a beat, but I want you guys to create with intention. I want you to understand how to win, man, because there's tiny little variations you could probably introduce into your workflow that can make a drastic change to your beats and the quality and how they're how they're reacted to by the artist that you sit with and you play them for. You know what I mean? Like, we're not on here just trying to show you guys that we're cool and make beats and we're in the industry. I want to help you guys change your lives. We want to have Grammy nominated producers on here. We want to make big records. We want to make hit records. We want to change our whole reality and impact in our life. We're not just doing this to do it. It's not our hobby. We do this full time. I'm 34 years old, you guys. I've been in the business since I was like 13 years old. So it is vital to me that we all grow together and we understand that this isn't my opinion. You know what I mean? This is literally my experience just trying to talk. I'm not just on here to look cool and be like, I fucking make beats and guess who I've worked with and blah, blah, blah. I'm not even a name dropper like that. I'm not going to list everybody. I'm not going to go into like that. I just hope that some of my things I've done right, the things I've done wrong, I can all share them with you on here and help you in your workflow and in your production. Because it's not about what type of music you're making. You know what I mean? It's not a genre-based thing on here. I do R&B, I do pop, I do trap, I do modern music for modern recording artists. And that all changes on who I'm with. And I get to be with the artist and personally with them in a room a lot, and that's a blessing. So it's given me a lot of insight on how to really work with an artist and how to give yourself an advantage in understanding certain techniques. And maybe you fucking didn't know you could have one sound in your song and just change the mix and variation of how the atmosphere is and the verses and the hooks and just add one element in that shit, and that motherfucking shit come out banging like this. Maybe you just didn't know that, you know what I mean? And that's huge valuable information just to know that maybe you don't have to go all the way to 150% every time. Maybe you hit the mark at 20%, and that's why it sounds and feels so good to that artist. So if you don't know where the mark is and you just keep going, dude, you could miss out on so many amazing opportunities in your music just because you don't know when to stop. You know what I mean? The one thing that these kids got, man, is they'll be 19-year-olds making a beat. They're on there for 10 minutes. They're like, cool, that's it. Because they can recognize the feeling, dude, because that feeling is in. And the artist will walk in the room and be like, load that shit up. That's the one I'm cutting tonight. Because they know they met in that imagination land. They created that space where, like, that's it. That's all you need, because they're going to do the rest. That's the artist. They're going to fucking feel this shit. They're going to paint a picture inside of their mind, inside of their soul, and they're going to express themselves on this chord progression or on this. Like, it's that fucking simple, you guys. Quit making it more difficult than you need to. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna quit blabbing, and we're going to keep it moving. All right, so what are we doing to these little effects? You might wonder, like, okay, cool. So you just got effects on top of the song? No. I got these motherfuckers auto panning too. So we're going to open that up first and show you real fast. So let's take a look at the panning on here. I can see it doing it. How do I get in there? Track panning. Boom. So you can see these effects as they're with free solo too, so you can actually hear them what they're doing. It's so washy. It's so simple. It's in the background. We've been really repetitive about this technique over and over and over again because it fucking works to create space in your records. So first, this thing doesn't just introduce some weird reverb or whatever. It kind of like spreads the sound out almost like a doubler would, but without creating like that weird doubler effect. So that's why I love CLA Unplugged, man. I hate the CLA plugins and I hate to throw them up here so much, but I love CLA Unplugged for these type of sounds because you cannot go wrong with it. And then what am I doing? I'm EQing. I'm taking that motherfucking shit out right there, right before 1K, probably 800, 700. There's a pretty wide gap on that dip too. So this is just creating space where that vocal needs presence to live down there. You know what I mean? Golden Mack, you can hear his voice, man. That singer, that artist got a bold statement inside of his spirit. So his voice comes out. He needs frequencies. You can't take all his frequencies from him. You got to give him these frequencies in your sounds so he can come across on that record and that motherfucking message gets heard. You know what I mean? Loud and clear VVS vocals, man. That's what Beckham calls me. That's what Dollar Bill Gates calls me. He calls me, that's VVS vocals. Because the first time I ever worked with him, he said, I never heard my vocals sounding so clean and clear. I was like, oh, shit. So I cannot wait till we get into the Pro Tools stuff and we do actually recording sessions. We're going to do a lot of stuff for you on here, but we're going to keep it moving. But the same thing we're always going to talk about is creating space for the artist because that's modern day music. We're not Phil Spector anymore and filling the whole thing up till the fucking whole motherfucking frequency spectrum's filled and it's like a Beatles fucking like that. There's a lot of stuff in the 70s and 80s that were all about filling it up as much as you could, even in the 90s, but we're out of that shit. You know what I mean? So let's keep it moving, you guys. But that's simple application to that sound. What are we doing at the end of it? We're using motherfucking center and we're basically pulling out the entire fucking mono signal of that effects vocal because we don't need it. Why don't we need the mono a part of a vocal effect inside of the production? Because the mono frequencies is where the vocals live. So you can have stereo frequencies on your effects. Those can be crazy. Those can go wide. You can have fun with those. But be really cautious when you start filling up too much mono effect in your music, in your productions. If you want to make R&B, you want to make trap, you want to make pop, that's where the vocal lives. That motherfucker comes straight down the pipe. Hot. Huh. That motherfucker needs to be clear, audible, boom. Need to have space in that record for that vocal to do its job. You know what I mean? That's why we use center at the end of our sounds like that. That's why we pull so much mono frequency and leave the stereo inside of that. With these types of sounds, you're going to want to do it to your taste too, you guys. It's always going to change, you know what I mean? Whether you're using on a crash cymbal, whether you're using on a vocal effect, the amount you use and how you use it's going to be a little different, but you're always going to kind of be using the same type of application. So, yeah.
A lot of them missing.
Hope I'm not going. I'm trying to catch up and make a little bit of time. Yeah, the wall of sound, bro. You know exactly what that is. You know exactly what the wall of sound is, Les. Who did I misquote the guy's name? Phil Spector? Was that his name? The engineer from the 70s? Phil Spector. Yeah. He was really famous about, and it's amazing sound too. That's him. Yeah. He would fill a record. Dude, he was a genius too. Like, so, and I'm not saying that technique never works anymore in music. Sometimes you're going to want that. But we're talking about what we're talking about. We're talking about R&B. We're talking about trap. We ain't fully diving into pop right now. What we will, for sure. But that technique is about all the way from the bottom of your record, you guys, to the top of your record, filling that spectrum to where it hits you like a wall when those songs come on. So it's like, you hear it. Okay, so the best way I could think to, he did produce the Ramones record though. Oh, dude, I worked with Tommy Bolin. He was in the Richie Ramone band, not the Ramones, but Richie Ramone started a band called the Richie Ramone Band, and he was the guitar player, Tommy Bolin. He was incredible, man. Ramones are dope as shit, dude. Hey, you guys, that's a thing too. Y'all better be educating yourself. If you're 19, you're 20 years old, and you're watching this and you want to be a record producer for the long run, don't be in a race to win this year. I've been doing this since I was 14. I'm 34 years old. Les is, he's been in the game for a long time. He's in just an ocean of knowledge, you guys. You know, that doesn't come from 1 year. Research different genres of music, do all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, listen to shit that you don't make. Because you're going to find out why there's certain things. You're going to hear why those things work inside of that music and be able to bring it in your music. That would be a big suggestion I would do. say to younger producers is always be listening to all kinds of different music. Yeah, the Ramones were dope though, for sure. I love them. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's check out the next sound. Same thing. Same thing that's happening is the unplug plugin. Pretty much ready to go. I could even probably pull that out, but I didn't, so it doesn't even matter because it already went on record. It's already been cut. It's already out for you to listen to. It's already on Spotify. It's already been released. Golden Mack, simple things. So, and then, oh, check this out. Same shit. Boom, space, space, space. I'm doing all these. There's 3 cuts on this record. 1, 2, pass. You know what I mean? There's not 50 movements on your EQ. That's another thing. This is big, man. You guys need to listen up to this. There's not a lot you cannot accomplish with knowing how to use an EQ and a compressor. So now there's going to be times when it gets a little crazy when you're doing surgical EQing. But if you find yourself doing 9, 10 moves on an EQ, you're doing way too much, bro. You want to find the fewest amount of broad sweeps that you can introduce to EQing that do the job. So the fewest amount of moves of broad sweeps that can do the job. That's real shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's some real deepness in that statement instead of needing to introduce. So if you're EQing a sound so much and doing all these laser EQs in it and all this stuff, you're probably killing some of that tonality. You're probably bringing some of the character out of that song that actually makes it interesting. So be careful when you do that. You know what I mean? Try to get the same result with only 3 moves instead of 8. I bet you can. I promise you can on an EQ. If you pull up your EQ right now and just practice EQing, go crazy on a sound, and then close your eyes, open a different channel, use the same sound, brand new EQ, and try to forget where you EQ'd. I know it sounds crazy, but erase your brain for a second, and then listen to that sound without looking at that EQ and try to recreate your EQ job with the minimal amount of moves. You know, go crazy on one and then come back, and that will teach you, like, oh, I didn't need to do that. I actually didn't need to pull that frequency out. I just needed to do it right here. Actually, I needed to leave that here. If I would have actually just did a wider Q on my EQ, it would have took care of all 4 of those moves that I did right here. You know what I mean? So that's a big thing that I did when I was younger, is I would go crazy on an EQ, man. So we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it grooving. Hope you guys are having a good one. If you're finding any of this useful, if you're finding any of this fucking informational to you and you can apply this to your workflow, man, go ahead and fucking follow the fucking Twitch. Jump aboard. We're going to be doing this Monday through Friday at 6:30. We're going to be breaking record placements down. We're going to be talking about the simplicity of how to work with a recording artist nowadays, man. I've been in this business for quite some time, and I've been blessed to be in the room with hundreds of artists, no cap, like hundreds of artists, known artists to brand new artists. So, you know, I'm just going to try to share those things that I learned along the way to try to help you guys in your music to just fucking keep it simple, man. Keep that bitch simple. All right, cool. So let's look at this bass.
She the one.
I always come take this vocal out. I just did a vocal print last night so I could bring the vocals on a 2-track in here. But I can't wait to show you guys some of the Pro Tools sessions, man.
100 million.
So simple, you guys. What's that bass doing? That's literally just a note playing. What's that, A minor? That's just an A minor flat fucking bass line playing. And then why it seems like it has so much bounce is what we talked about in the drums earlier. I'm not going to go all the way back, but remember how we introduced that accent kick? That accent kick had a little more low frequency in it than the kick on the one. So it's kind of it's working with this bass when the bass drops in certain sections to kind of create that extra little bounce in it. You know what I mean? And then just at the end of the little layers, you'll see we'll scroll up. Let's open this for 1 second. It's just catching the entails of these on these little extra hits, but you'll see where it cuts out. I got that accent kick coming and doing its job. You know what I mean? So your kicks relationship with your bass relationship is going to be so important. Sometimes you could just get away with literally doing the start of your notes of your 808s or your bass on your actually kicks just to kind of get comfortable with like feeling out placement and stuff. But it's so simple. Space, 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 simplicity. That's going to win every time. You see, you guys, I didn't do like crazy things to each of these things, but when you back up and you listen to the actual release of the song, you're like, fuck, that shit goes. That's a record. Like, this shit is a fucking record straight the fuck up, you guys. Like, it's that simple. You guys want to see what I did to the actual bass to get the sound of the bass to sound how I like it? So this is what I used to do a lot too. I'm not using this plugin as much these days, but still, this is an incredible plugin to distort your bass in your 808s, Don't go too crazy. As you can see, we've cut it down a little bit here. The drive isn't all the way there. You'll dial in your treble frequency on here, but that's pretty much it. And then how we talked about introducing, hold on, let's do this. Okay, real shit. So when I was younger, I used to think I could only use one plugin of each type of plugin. I could only put one EQ here. I could only use one snare. Again, another distort. Yes, that's what we're going to talk about right now. That's what we're going to talk about right now. So when I was younger, I used to think I could only use one distortion or one reverb. Dude, sometimes, those classic sounds from some of your favorite records in the world are a Lexicon reverb ran into like some little Eventide thing mixed with like a little cheap ass Sony reverb, and they used all three of those in a chain, but they didn't use them on the 100% settings on all of them. But you guys, you can use two different types of distortion plugins in conjunction with each other to create an actual original tonality that wouldn't come from just one of those machines. So it's about marrying those harmonics together that you're distorting with your two different types of distortions, and then you're kind of blending them together. So what you're getting out of that is something completely unique to just one plugin. You can do this with reverbs, you can do this with distortions, you can do this with EQ coloration, you can do this with chorus effects, you can do this with all kinds of stuff. So don't limit yourself to thinking that, oh, I put that one reverb on there, that's all I need. Maybe that's all I did need. But and don't get confused with doing too much. I'm not saying go crazy and add 50 plugins. I'm just saying sometimes you could use two as one, you know what I mean? And dial those in so they are talking to each other in the right way. Like, okay, we're going to go back to the record. But yeah, that's a really, really important mix technique to understand when you're doing records. Like I've mixed some really big records for some big artists as a mix engineer. So that's one of my main strengths. So when I do my productions and I'm working with artists on their beats and stuff like that, and we're trying to get a sound, I have a big advantage because I understand these things. And that goes back to research, different types of music, different types of time eras and all that kind of stuff. I literally has obsessed for years and years of my life on just anything I could look up and research and fill my brain, and any tutorial and anything. Anytime I was in a studio with a known engineer or a known person or a known producer or a known artist, I would sit there and just pay attention, and I would pick their brains so much. Like when I was a professional DJ, I used to tell all my friends, hey man, if you really got a secret technique, don't do it in front of me, because I could just see it and then I'll like redo it on another level in my head, because I'm a creator inside of my head. So techniques and how to use EQs and compressions and all that, when I jumped into that world, it was so fucking my language. I was like, oh yeah, duh, because I'm an emotional context mixer. I'm not a theoretical mixer. I didn't go to Berkeley to learn how to all the setting. I know how to fucking mix a record to get that shit to sound right. I know how to mix a popular record to go and touch millions of people's ears and it be acceptable. You know what I mean? It'd be more than acceptable. That shit fucking be right. So it isn't about all these rules and all this shit. It's about explore. Go way too far in your life and your career and technique, and pull it way back and just use the things that you know you're going to love and that are going to attach to you and your sonic palette. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Boom. Let's get back to it. I didn't mean to ramble like that. I'm so sorry, guys. But let's jump back in it. But yeah, that's a big thing. So let's talk about this distortion. So this is what I love to do. I used to use this plugin a lot. Now I'm using fucking different kinds of plugins all the time, but it's all the same shit. It does not matter what type of distortions or what kind of EQs. I would suggest get some fucking Fab Filter EQs though, because these bitches are translucent and they're the best EQs you can buy for surgical EQing and non-coloration, and just kind of doing a lot of the reduction stuff that I do is with these, because it doesn't introduce any kind of coloration or new frequencies or harmonics. Okay, boom. And yes, when you EQ something, the whole frequency palette of it, the sonic textures, even in the frequency that you didn't change. You know what I mean? So it's about finding translucent EQs if that's what you want. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Sorry. Boom, shakalaka, motherfucker. All right, let's jump back in it. So the next thing I'm doing is I used to use this on a lot of my basses. Because why? I don't love CLA. This is the only other plugin you probably see me pull up that's by them. And this is the first time you've seen one, because I'm doing different stuff with them now. But I'm using this distortion of the Manny distortion, and I'm just using the Roar distortion off of the CLA bass plugin. And what it does is it actually introduces a slight chorus effect to the bass that is super fucking dope still. I don't know. It doesn't take it out of weird stereo field. It still has its mono presence. It's doing its job. You know what I mean? So these two distortions dialed in together are what's creating like that cool rumble in my sub and in my bass. And like we talked about yesterday, I got this technique from Jason Joshua, dude. You don't always have to low pass. You don't always have to use a pass, you guys, when you're cutting bass out and stuff like that. Sometimes you can literally use a low shelf and shelf your bass to control your bass instead of passing it, and you're going to be able to keep a lot of those harmonics that are in those low frequencies in that bass that still sound appealing without sacrificing things. You know what I mean? Like, so you can cut if you want, you can pass if you want. Don't feel like you have to choose one or the other, but they do have slightly different applications, and they do have a slightly different sound when you cut a bass out to when you do shelf it down. So sometimes I like to shelf shit. That's my style. You know what I mean? And why am I ducking 500 out of my bass? Come on, it's common sense, y'all. I just entered 2 motherfucking types of distortion. So now I'm having to control them because I want that vocal, the artist. We're making records for artists. You know what I mean? We're keeping a song in mind. We're not just trying to be a dope producer, dude. We're trying to fucking be songsmiths. We're trying to be foundations of emotional palettes. We're not just trying to be a beat maker. That is not what I am. That is not what you guys are going to be when you fuck with this channel. You are going to be a record producer. You are going to know how to work with a band. You are going to know how to work on a computer. You are going to know how to walk in a room full of 9 other creatives with no technology and walk out with a song. Like, you are a record producer. We are going to talk, all these applications are going to be applied to the next thing as we go deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm doing beat breakdowns first because it is the simplest way to introduce myself to you guys without overwhelming you or myself with all this fucking crazy knowledge. You know what I mean? So we're just going to keep moving forward as we progress weekly, and I hope this stuff matters to you, and I hope you pay attention because you're not a fucking beat maker, bro. You're a record producer. You are a real record producer who has songs that God gave you inside of your spirit that are going to come out through an artist one day, and they're going to change your life. I believe in you. I truly do that shit. Let's get this motherfucker on here for this. Hallelujah. For real, that's for you guys, man. I believe in that. I believe in that. Anybody who wants that, you can have it, man. And it's not as hard as you think it is. It's just about being honest with yourself and stepping up. Okay, so let's check it out. Why, like we said, we're pulling all that out of that bass. Why? It's because we introduced the distortion, and now our vocals want to sit in there. So when we listen to it with the fucking vocals in the song, that grit from the distortion, I tamed it. It's not screaming in your face. It's there for sure. It's doing its job. So when you listen to this record on a laptop or something like that, you're still going to get a essence of low end in the record. That's typically okay. I don't want to tell you something with not explaining why, because why is why we do things on this channel. Why is what we talk about. So why would I do that? You know what I mean? Like, holy shit. Let's talk about it. Let's take a look.
I'm a swerve man on the block, show ready. Marathon continues on this shit, is so heavy. Rest in peace, Nick Dog. Maybe I can give it in.
Because that's why you want on a lower device, the mid range in that distortion, its job really is to cut through on smaller speakers. Because most of you are probably not sitting in a big studio. Most of you guys are probably not. You know, you may be in your car, you may be on your phone, you may be on your iPod headphones, your AirPods. You may be. Did I just show my age? And I'm like, you may be on your headset, Magoo thing. You may be on your AirPods. You may be, you know what I mean? So that low end and that bass, those speakers have cutoffs on them, probably like 60 hertz, 80 hertz, fucking sometimes even higher than that, ridiculously. There's some systems out there that cut shit at like fucking 90 hertz. It's like, where's the fucking low end of my record? So like, you got to keep in mind that when you're introducing those harmonics with distortion and saturation on your bass, you're safety netting yourself to make that shit hit better. It's just going to sound better. You should always be introducing some type of saturation, whether it's the intent to make a distorted, blown out bassline kind of hyped ass record, or you're just creating that ghost harmonic in your bass that actually it's going to be subconsciously picked up, I promise. So saturation and bass are a big thing. They should come together always. You know what I mean? Okay, let's keep it looking.
Baby need the vibe, hold up, hit the telly. I'm a swerve man on the block, show ready. Marathon continues on this shit, is so.
And one thing that I love to do with bass too, that I was doing a lot, either you'll see a lot of my bass, I'll straight up be playing it on a guitar, or I'll be punching in MIDI on pads. I'll be slapping 808s in. Or another thing that I really love to do, because I came from dance music, so something that I still have a habit of doing sometimes is I'll grab a one shot. I'll lay my one shots where I know they're going to be, and I'll grab a few different variations of different loops in that same key of bass, and I'll literally pick and choose on what turnarounds from those loops I want and what phrases I want to keep, and then I'll like place them where I want, you know what I mean? So I'll have my one shot running in my spots, but then maybe at the end of every 4 or every 8 or every 16, there'll be like a cool turnaround from some weird loop that isn't necessarily the focal point of my bass. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a cool technique on how to do that in different sections too. At times I will find different types of bass tones that rock with each other, and I'll let them be in the pre, and then I'll bring them back just in the pre, and I'll bring the old bass back in the hook again. So it's not always the same tone of your bass. Sometimes you're going to be able to switch it together. And you see how these channels have been consolidated down to one channel? So some of these have been frozen, bounced down, and then brought back and treated on one channel, so they're cohesively through each other. But they still have slight variations in tonality and distortions and different things like that too. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, you know what I mean? So yeah, you guys, I mean, shit. This record is so simple. I don't want to make it more complicated than it is. That's what we're never going to do on this channel. We're going to keep things simple. I'm going to be real as fuck with you. I learned everything I learned in real studios with real recording artists in the music business in Los Angeles. I'm not just making shit up. I'm not learning something on the internet and then trying to reteach you it on the internet. I'm telling you, this shit works in studios. The things that I told you about, it's going to help you build your relationships with the artist, because when they hit play on your shit, you're always going to have fire shit. And if you always have fire shit, you're always going to be in their mind. And if you're always in their mind, you're always going to be in the front of the line. If you're always in the front of the line, you're always going to get your shit fucking placed. You know what I mean? Everything is connected in this business. So yeah, I'm so grateful. We toned it down today. Tree, how'd you feel today? Tree had a good day. He kept his mouth shut today. He didn't go crazy. Yesterday, he went nuts. You know what I mean? But yeah, I guess I'm going to play the beat one more time. I'm going to play the song, actually, one more time. And then we're going to come through it real fast. We're not going to come to the actual beat. We're just going to kind of conclude this little motherfucking live stream. What did we call it? A streamcast pod? Joe, what did we call it yesterday? A podcast live stream. Streamcast pod link, or pod stream. Fuck. Live stream podcast. There it is. Live cast pod stream. There it is. We're going to do this live cast pod stream. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of fucking info in this one. I kind of went a little more detailed into some stuff, but that's because I love this fucking song, man. I love Golden Mack, man. He's a real artist, man. So, you know, it's a blessing to get to work with even just one artist, and I've been blessed by God and the universe to put me with hundreds of artists in my life. So I just want to keep sharing that with you guys and appreciate you. One last time, like always, fucking like the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook, wherever you are, come to Twitch. Our Discord's right here. Join the community. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. We got a lot going on. So yeah, I just really appreciate you little mother effers, and we're gonna keep it moving, man. Feeling good in the hood. All right, 1 second. Let me switch over and talk to you guys for a second. Yeah, man, this has been a good episode though. This record is really probably one of the best examples how I could show you how to keep it simple and it be fucking dope as fuck still too. That's why I thought about this one, because every day we've been talking more and more about the simplicity. And then I was laying there last night. I was like, damn, I gotta show them Simple Things, man. Simple Things is literally probably one of the simplest records I ever made, and it's hard as fuck too. You know what I mean? So, who do we got? Are we still around? Les, what up, bro? Dreamstream, come on, that's a better name for it, bro. Dreamstream, let's go. I like that. Man, dude. Today's a good day. I wish nothing but blessings on everybody who watches this, bro. What time is it? We went 140. We had that one technical difficulty. We're going to try to average an hour to hour and a half on these, so on the actual streams, but yeah, I couldn't log too much. Dude, I'm just, sometimes I feel like I'm blabbing because you know too, Les is an amazing engineer and producer, and And I think one thing that we do to ourselves as creatives, especially if you've been in the business too, if and I don't want to say you get jaded, but I think you get a little spoiled and you get a little disconnect from yourself every day. If every day you wake up and you have the blessing to make music for a living, you know, after 10 years of doing that, 15 years, coming up on 20 years of doing music, it's like you have a tendency, you have to like whap, smack yourself sometimes and be like, oh shit, God, thank you. I'm living my dream. This is a blessing. So like, how can I offer value? How can I share more? Because I do have value in myself. I have been in these rooms. This isn't the normal for the whole world to know this information. And we normalize what we know so much in the business because we're too cool and we're this and we're that. And it just, I want to make my effort in my life and do my diligence to do each one, teach one, is to do all I can to help the younger generation of producers and songwriters and engineers and creatives understand that, you know, like, here it is. Here's the info. You know, there's more guys like me on here too who are real dudes, not just started making beats a year ago and got some placements. Like, there's a lot of different types of informational wells that you're going to have. And my well is very, very deep. You know what I mean? My well is very deep. So as we all share information, we can grow together. And I learn from these young guys too, constantly. You better fucking believe it. I ain't no damn fool, man. I'm researching, I'm watching them, I'm on their live streams, checking it out. They may not know who the fuck I am, bro, but I'm on there watching, and I've been around, and I know people, I know the shit, I know the business. And some of these kids are crazy talented, man. Like, they are crazy, man. Ah, you said I know because you've been editing, huh, Joe? Man. Yeah, Joe's a G, man. Joe's been with me during my whole journey in music. Not the whole time, but, man, he's been with me since the dance music days, dude. Long, 12 years ago. Dude, crazy journey. Crazy journey. I'm not making this shit up, you guys. We're not on here on streaming trying to be cool and say we're in the industry and all that. And we're just trying to actually show you that we're not too cool. That's my objective, is to teach everybody as much as we could and just not be too fucking cool, man. Because this shit is fun. And we were little kids and we wanted to do music for a living, and we get to. And I'm consciously aware of that and grateful every day that God lets me wake up and create, because I could have had an accident and lost my hearing. I could have gotten so many things could happen in your life, but you know, he lets us wake up and he lets us create and he lets us hear and he lets us contribute to the Holy Spirit's fucking well of songs, because that's where it comes from. It's not coming from you. It's not coming from me. It's not coming from that songwriter who thinks he's, yeah, guys. It's coming from the Holy Spirit. So let's be real. So you can be the conduit. You can be the channel. And I love it. And I love you for it. But it's all consciously recognized that, man, we channel this shit. It comes from somewhere. It's not just us. It is vibrations. Yeah, it's 100% vibrations. So some of us just been in the midst of the vibration more, so we can recognize certain things and express them and articulate them in a way to where we can help you understand, like, what's inside of those rooms, what's inside of that vortex. You know what I mean? Like, because you do go to a vortex when you create. You do. And you pull things from it. Like, it's a crazy fucking thought to think of. I could sit here right now, right? Check this out. Real shit. Factual, actual. I could sit here right fucking now. Nothing happening. Go somewhere. Live a whole reality. Come back. Write about it. Record about it. Play the music. And share that with you. Like, and you can really hear that. You can listen and experience some place that I made up in my head and I brought back and gave to you. That's what I'm trying to show you guys. I just got chills right now. Real shit. I got chills. You're a music producer. You are a record producer. You are not a beat maker. You are a record producer. So, like, you need to know how to access that place, because it's not right here. It's not right here. I hit that shit on accident. Oh my God. But for real, it's not right here. It's something you could literally touch or just, you have to be able to train yourself to go there over and over. And the more you get to go there, the more accessible it becomes to you. You know what I mean? It's not in your computer. It's not it's not even, I can't even tell you where it is because it's constantly moving. You know what I mean? So I might sound crazy right now, but this is some real shit that we're talking about. So we're gonna wrap it up on that because that's some deep shit, and you guys should really think about that. We're making music for artists. We're making music for lives. We're expressing ourselves emotionally. We're making art that should last. There is no value that you could attach to it. It is crazy. Oh yeah, these are the streams, man. These are the streams. These don't gotta be no out. Like I'm having fun on here. The videos though, we'll probably keep them like 30 minutes. I put the live streams up on YouTube just straight too. But we're gonna cut these episodes down to where they're actually like formatted too. But I just want to keep it real at times too. I don't want to like, oh, well, did I sound right? Hey guys. So anyway, here's how you push a snare on FL. FL's the shit. I ain't hating on FL. I'm not hating on FL at all. Matter of fact, I gotta get on FL. I gotta start working on that bitch. I got it on here on the Mac. I just ain't even really opened it. I made one tune in FL. And I was like, this is kind of dope. I like this. And then I just been doing my thing. But that's another example of, hey, man, I got to get with the times and move with these kids. I mean, Ableton's the shit. I mean, I use Pro Tools. I use Ableton. I can use FL. I can use Logic. I fucking do not like Logic. Ugh. Sue me. Just never been a Logic guy, dude. Logic is literally like the most unlogical music making program I've ever seen. Yeah, Lightning and FL. Yeah, dude. See, you got to show me. We'll get in the Discord one day and do some video sharing stuff. You can maybe show me how to move around in FL a little quicker, because it's like going to Japan and you're like at a restaurant or you're at like a bar and the thing you want is right behind the fucking counter and the guy's like, and you're like, oh, I want that right there. And he's like, and you're like, no, it's right there. I know what I want. I could see it. I can do it. I just, can you just, and he's like, and you're like, I just don't speak Japanese. But I know exactly what I'm trying to do, and if I could just reach it right there, that's FL to me. It's like I just gotta learn how to speak Japanese a little better, because I know what the fuck I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. I just gotta learn how to move in that program a little better. FL Studio Mac is good enough to rock. Oh yeah, I got FL for Mac. I'm not a PC, guys. I'm not a PC dude. Never have been. I had one PC back in the day. I was working on Reason and shit. Oh my God. I saw someone working on Reason the other day in a live stream. This kid was flying in Reason. I was like, damn, you kids are making the most out of Reason nowadays. It was Dr. Rex when I was a kid. That's all that we had. Shit. What was that thing called? Subway, or the plug-in. You couldn't even pull plugins in that shit. It was crazy. You really could not even pull plugins in that program. It was like, what the fuck? Subtractor. Yeah, bro. Killing me with the Subtractor, bro. That shit's hilarious. That shit is fucking hilarious. I'm thinking about making some Dr. Rex hoodies, though, for some merch. Like with the old Rex file on the front of the hoodie and shit. I think that's hard as fuck, though. But like animated, like spray, like it looks like it's painted on there. Like really cool. Holy shit, I just blabbed for like another fucking 10 minutes. But dude, you guys, I'm so grateful for you guys to be able to, this is amazing. During COVID and all that, we can still connect and check out and share our work and do all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and play the song, and we're going to get out of here. And I appreciate you guys, and I will see you on Monday, because it is Friday. I'm going to take a couple days to myself and work on next week's programs. And, oh, dude, thank you so much, Les. I appreciate you so much, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciation Station. Did you see when homie followed today and that wad of cash popped up? So anytime anybody follows or subscribes, I got a G that drops down on them in their karma bank. So make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, you do all that stuff on Twitch, and come fill your karma bank up, man. All right, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to switch over and play the actual record one more time, and I will see you on Monday. Holy moly macaroni. I am O-U-T, dog.
Gets it right. Shay baby. You ever just need just love? Cause sometimes I just look in your eyes and I see that's what a lot of them miss.
Like she the one, them simple things. She the one, them simple things. that sunshine. Baby need the vibe, hold on, hit the telly. I'm a swerve man on the block, show ready. Marathon continues on the shit, it's so heavy. Rest in peace, Nick Dog. Baby, I can give it any day. Rolling through the black and gray. Let me just smoke a little. Give you that perfect vibe. Like she the one, them simple things. She the one, them simple things. She said, I don't want the simple things. Like baby, I'ma give you simple things. She just won that perfect one, that perfect one. That sunshine. She ain't never had love with the love she just met. She hit me with a text, now we end up on a jet. And it's never really nothing, we getting straight to it. Anything. Baby, I can give it any day. Rolling through the black and gray. Let me just smoke a little. Give you that perfect vibe. Like she the one, them simple things.